5 strange habits that happen in the bed of the chosen ones. What happens when a soul chosen by God lies down to rest? It's not just sleep. It's not just dreams. It's activation. In this video, we uncover the unusual, mysterious, and often unexplained habits that chosen ones experience in bed. Moments of energy shifts, intense dreams, sudden awakenings, divine visitations, and spiritual downloads that the world would call strange. But for the chosen, it's normal. Because the night is when the veil thins, and heaven speaks. If you've ever felt vibrations through your body, if you've woken up at the same sacred hour night after night, if your dreams feel more like prophecies than imagination, you're not alone. You're being prepared. 1. The vibration phenomenon. The body trembles, but the soul awakens. One of the strangest habits that chosen ones experience in bed is the vibration awakening. It's that moment when you're lying in silence, about to fall asleep, and suddenly, your entire body starts to buzz. Not like anxiety, not like fear, not like shivers, but a spiritual electrical current running through your body as if your soul is being charged. This is not random. Throughout history, mystics, prophets, and spiritually gifted people often described nights where their bodies vibrated as if touched by something unseen. It's the moment when your physical vessel becomes aligned with higher frequencies. Your energy field adjusts, expands, and synchronizes with the divine purpose placed on your life. For chosen ones, the bed becomes a spiritual charging station. Sometimes it happens in the legs first. Sometimes it starts from the spine. Sometimes it begins at the crown of the head like a soft hum. And although it feels strange, it never harms you. Because it's not meant to scare you, it's meant to prepare you. These vibrations often come after a day filled with emotional battles, spiritual warfare, or energy draining from being around the wrong people. Nighttime is when God restores you, repairs you, and realigns you with your destiny. The world calls it sleep paralysis. The spiritual call it activation. Chosen ones call it normal. 2. Waking up at sacred hours, the 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. mystery. Another strange nightly habit of chosen ones is waking up at the same exact hour, every night. 2:11 a.m., 3 a.m., 3:33 a.m., 4:04 a.m. These are not random timestamps. These are spiritual alarms. The veil between realms is thinnest around these hours. Your soul becomes sharp, alert, and awakened even when the world around you sleeps. Chosen ones often describe waking up with a jolt, with a feeling of being watched but not by evil, by angels. With sudden clarity, with an idea or message, with a spiritual pressure in the heart or mind. These awakenings are visitation hours. This is when God whispers instructions to your spirit. This is when angels deliver messages. This is when you receive warnings, insights, or prophetic dreams. You may not remember the full message when you wake up, but the imprint stays in your soul. By morning, you feel different. You think different. You carry new awareness, new strength, or new intuition without knowing exactly when it was placed inside you. Night after night, the chosen ones are pulled from sleep not to disturb their rest, but to strengthen their spirit. For the chosen, the night is not a time of weakness. It is a time of revelation. 3. The prophetic dreams, when your sleep becomes a spiritual battlefield. Chosen ones do not dream the way ordinary people dream. Regular people dream of memories, stress, or meaningless images. Chosen ones dream in symbols, warnings, visions, spiritual encounters, future events, messages coded in metaphor. For the chosen, dreams feel too real, too deep, too heavy, too meaningful to ignore. Sometimes the dream is a place you've never visited, yet it feels familiar. Sometimes you meet people you don't know, yet your soul recognizes them. Sometimes you wake up with chills because the dream carried a truth too strong for your mind to process. Chosen ones often dream of walking through ancient places, light beings, enemies being revealed, spiritual battles, keys, doors, paths, water, fire, mountains, snakes, wolves, shadows, soundless voices speaking directly to your soul. These dreams are not imagination, they are instructions. They are spiritual downloads disguised as visions. Every dream carries a fragment of your divine assignment. The world may mock your dreams. People may not believe you. But chosen ones know. When God speaks to you at night, you don't wake up the same person. Some dreams warn you about people around you. Some prepare you for coming blessings. Some teach you what your intuition has been trying to tell you. Some reveal your hidden enemies. And some show you your power, your destiny, your path. Prophetic dreaming is a gift. But it is also a responsibility. Because chosen ones are dreamers with purpose. 4. The invisible presence, feeling watched, guarded, or surrounded at night. One of the most misunderstood experiences is when chosen ones feel a presence in the room, not a dark presence but a watchful one. Some describe it as a shadow of light, a pressure in the air, a warmth around the body, a gentle heaviness, footsteps in the spiritual realm, an unseen hand resting near the bed, a sense of being protected. This presence appears especially during seasons of elevation or spiritual warfare. When your anointing increases, so does the spiritual activity around you. Chosen ones have strong spiritual sensitivity. Your soul can feel entities even when your eyes cannot see them. But here is what many don't understand. Not all presence is negative. Sometimes you feel your guardian angel. Sometimes you feel ancestors praying for you. Sometimes you feel divine protection entering the room. Sometimes you feel the Holy Spirit moving around you. And yes, sometimes the enemy tries to disturb your peace at night. But those nights are always followed by mornings of breakthrough. Chosen ones often sleep knowing they are not truly alone. Heaven is watching. Heaven is guarding. Heaven is surrounding. This presence is not a curse. It is a sign of your calling. 5. The spiritual downloads, waking up with knowledge you never learned. The final strange habit is one of the most powerful. Chosen ones often wake up with knowledge they didn't read. Answers they didn't study, or understanding they never learned through ordinary means. It feels like a mental update, a sudden clarity, a new perspective installed overnight. This is what spiritual teachers call downloads, infusions, revelations, soul upgrades, divine impartations. Your bed becomes the place where heaven uploads information to your spirit. This is why the chosen can wake up with new ideas, with strategies, with warnings, with sudden emotional healing, with spiritual confidence, with creative visions, with names, words, or messages they didn't think of. Some chosen ones even receive solutions to problems they've struggled with. Answers appear out of nowhere. A plan forms effortlessly. Something clicks. This is not coincidence. This is divine tutoring. The chosen ones don't just sleep. They receive. They don't just rest. They transform. They don't just dream. They download. Every night adds something new to your soul's journey. Every dawn you rise a little stronger, a little sharper, a little more aligned with destiny. The truth they don't tell you. The bed of a chosen one is not a place of weakness. It is a sanctuary, a receiving station, a battlefield, a classroom, a portal, a womb for transformation. Others sleep to escape. Chosen ones sleep to awaken. And once you understand what happens at night, you stop fearing the strange. You stop doubting your experiences. You stop questioning the intensity of your dreams, vibrations, or awakenings. Because now you know, your nights are not ordinary. Your soul is not silent. Your spirit is not asleep. You are being prepared for something bigger. Something sacred. Something only the chosen can carry. You're not crazy. You're not imagining. You're not alone. You're awakened. You're guided. You're being upgraded. You're chosen. There's a reason the chosen ones feel more alive at night than during the day. So many of the transformative moments, the breakthroughs, the revelations, happen when the world goes quiet and the soul finally has room to speak. The silence of the night isn't just emptiness, it's a sacred environment where distractions fall away and the spiritual realm becomes louder, clearer, more accessible. And this is why chosen ones often feel that nighttime is their true home, their real sanctuary, their genuine activation zone. When everyone else sleeps to escape the world, the chosen ones lie down and enter dimensions unseen. And the deeper your calling, the more intense these nightly experiences become. Not everyone can handle the weight of these moments. Not everyone can bear the sensitivity. Not everyone can withstand the responsibility of receiving knowledge beyond their age, wisdom beyond their environment, and visions beyond their understanding. But chosen ones can, because their soul was built for it. One of the strangest things that consistently happens at night is a sudden emotional shift. A chosen one can lie down with a heavy heart, maybe drained, disappointed, maybe even feeling like their spiritual journey is too intense, and within minutes they feel something lift off them. A burden dissolves, a weight evaporates, their chest softens, their breath deepens, as if invisible hands gently peel away the heaviness accumulated throughout the day. This moment, though subtle, is profound. It is spiritual cleansing. Many chosen ones describe nights where they cry without knowing why. Not from sadness, but from release. Their soul is emptying out decades of pain, memories, traumas, and energy that no longer matches their destiny. Tears become a purifier, washing the inner world the way rain cleanses the earth. Nobody teaches the chosen ones about this. It just begins to happen. Automatically. Repeatedly. Purposefully. And then there are nights where the chosen one doesn't cry, but instead suddenly laughs. There is a strange joy that comes, unprovoked, unplanned. It may be quiet. It may be small. But it's genuine. It's real. It's as if the universe whispers, "You're okay. You're protected. Your breakthrough is already here." And the soul responds with gratitude long before the mind understands why. These emotional shifts are not random. They are part of the spiritual recalibration that happens every night to the chosen ones. Because emotional clarity is necessary for spiritual power. When the chosen ones sleep or rest, the divine realm works on them in ways they don't always notice. Dreams are one thing, visitations are another. But emotional restructuring, that is a hidden process that prepares the chosen for the mission ahead. Imagine a warrior being sharpened. Imagine a vessel being cleaned. Imagine a lamp being refilled with oil. That is what happens in the bed of the chosen ones. Another strange habit that chosen ones experience at night is the sensation of floating. They may not leave their body, but they feel untethered, as if gravity loosens its grip on their soul. It feels like the spirit is expanding beyond the physical form, stretching into realms not visible to the naked eye. Some describe it as sinking into the bed. Others describe it as rising above it. Some feel like they are drifting sideways or spinning gently in a slow circle. This sensation scares people who don't understand. But for chosen ones, it eventually becomes familiar. The floating feeling is a sign that the soul is traveling, exploring, receiving, connecting. It means the spirit is not imprisoned by the physical body, it is simply borrowing it while doing its deeper work. Chosen ones often wake up after these nights feeling unusually refreshed, unusually knowing, unusually light. Because the places their soul traveled during the night have given them something new, wisdom, healing, alignment, or clarity. While ordinary people dream in shallow waves, chosen ones dream in the deep ocean. And the deeper the dream, the more powerful the transformation. Many chosen ones experience another strange nighttime phenomenon, sudden coldness or sudden heat. One moment they feel a chill wrapping around their back or legs, and the next moment they feel a wave of warmth spreading from their chest outward. These temperature shifts have no physical explanation. They come abruptly. They leave abruptly. Coldness often signifies spiritual observation, the presence of beings watching or guarding. Warmth signifies divine interaction, the presence of healing, guidance, or comfort. But again, this is not something the chosen ones are taught. It is something they simply learn to recognize. Bit by bit, night after night, experience after experience, they begin to understand the language of the unseen. The nonverbal communication, the coded sensations, the whispers through energy rather than words. Chosen ones are not given a manual. They are given sensitivity. And sensitivity becomes their guide. There are also nights where the chosen one experiences the pulling effect. This feels like the body is being gently tugged into a deeper state of consciousness, almost like being drawn inward. The mind wants to stay awake, but something pulls them into a different level of awareness, a level where the body sleeps but the spirit is wide awake and watching. This is the beginning of a spiritual trance. Not the dramatic type people imagine, but a subtle, natural trance where visions surface without effort, where thoughts become louder, where intuition becomes vivid, where communication from the divine realm is uninterrupted. Sometimes the chosen one sees flashes of light behind closed eyelids. Sometimes they see patterns, symbols, faces, places, scenes unfolding like a silent movie. Sometimes they hear whispers, not with the ears, but with the soul. Messages delivered in a dimension deeper than sound. And all of this happens while their body rests in bed, perfectly still. To an outsider, it looks like the chosen one is simply sleeping. But in truth, they are receiving instructions, downloading wisdom, understanding their purpose, being shaped into who they must become. Chosen ones often feel lonely in these experiences. Because they cannot explain them to the average person. Because the world would label it strange, supernatural, or unbelievable. But chosen ones know. The more spiritual your calling, the more spiritual your nights. There are also recurring signs the chosen ones witness at night. Some see orbs of light in the dark, small, floating, glowing circles that appear and disappear quickly. Some see streaks of light flash across the room for a split second. Some feel a gentle tap on their shoulder, a touch on their arm, or the sensation of someone sitting on the edge of the bed, even when no one is there. And strangely, these moments never feel dangerous. They feel familiar. They feel purposeful. They feel like part of the journey. Chosen ones have a built-in spiritual radar. They intuitively know when a presence is good or bad, safe or harmful, divine or deceptive, and most of the time, what they sense at night is not evil at all. It is guidance. It is protection. It is your spiritual team making sure you stay aligned with your path. Another strange habit is the chosen ones often wake up speaking words they don't remember saying. A phrase, a sentence, a name, a prayer, sometimes in their own language, sometimes in a language they've never learned. This is not madness. This is subconscious alignment with spiritual instructions. Speaking in sleep for the chosen ones is a form of release and revelation. The lips move because the spirit is active. The voice speaks because the soul is communicating. Many chosen ones describe waking up with a sense of urgency, as if they were just called by name. They wake with a beating heart, not from fear, but from being summoned. Something has told them, wake up. There is something you must feel, understand, or be aware of. And often, after waking, they find a sudden realization in their mind, an answer to a problem, clarity about a person, a reminder of something important, or even a warning. Chosen ones also experience the nighttime knowing. This is when they lie in bed and suddenly understand something they've been struggling with for months. No thinking, no analyzing, just sudden clarity. As if the missing piece slides into place all by itself. This is the power of spiritual downloads. The chosen ones do not learn everything through study. Some things are given to them through divine connection. And the night is the perfect moment for receiving. Sometimes, chosen ones are shown hidden truths about people around them. Their dreams reveal someone's true intentions. Their intuition flashes images of betrayal. Or they wake up with a name in their mind. The name of someone who has been talking behind their back or secretly wishing them harm. It feels like spiritual intelligence. Because that's exactly what it is. Chosen ones are always warned before danger. Always prepared before betrayal. Always protected before attacks. Their nights reveal the truth the days try to hide. There are also moments of deep stillness that only chosen ones understand. Not the ordinary stillness of sleep, but a silence so heavy, so absolute, that it feels like time has stopped. In this stillness, the chosen ones feel suspended between worlds, half here, half beyond. This state is where major spiritual upgrades occur. It is where the soul rewires itself. Where old traumas detach. Where new strength rises. Where pain is extracted and destiny is installed. And though it feels strange to the physical mind, the spiritual self knows exactly what is happening. Sometimes the chosen ones wake up exhausted despite sleeping long hours. This is not physical exhaustion, this is spiritual exhaustion from battles fought while the body rested. Not every dream is symbolic. Some dreams are literal spiritual battles. Protecting their purpose, guarding their destiny, fighting off energies that wish to derail their path. Chosen ones fight even while sleeping. Their spirit works even when their body doesn't. Their calling never pauses. And then there are nights where they wake up feeling unbelievably refreshed, peaceful, strong, glowing, centered. Because on those nights, they were not fighting. They were being filled. Chosen ones often wake up with sensations in the forehead, chest, or spine, pressure, tingling, warmth. These locations are spiritual centers. These activations prepare them for heightened intuition, sharper sensitivity, and deeper insight. Every night shapes them. Every dawn changes them. And the craziest part, most people will never understand the depth of what happens in the bed of a chosen one. Because the chosen live in two worlds at once. The physical realm and the spiritual realm. One is seen, one is unseen, but both are equally real. Their nights are not empty. Their sleep is not passive. Their dreams are not accidental. Every vibration, every awakening, every dream, every sensation is part of their preparation. Part of their transformation. Part of their divine assignment. The chosen ones don't rest the way others do. They evolve. They grow. They ascend. And as each night passes, they become more aligned with who they truly are. A soul that was never ordinary, never random, never accidental, but chosen. There's a pattern the chosen ones eventually notice. The night doesn't simply end when they fall asleep. The night continues around them, inside them, and through them. Even their breathing changes. Even their heartbeat adjusts. It's as if their entire being shifts into a different mode, a more receptive, more sensitive, more awakened state. When a chosen one lies down, the body rests but the spirit rises. And this becomes clearer the older they get, the more their spiritual awareness sharpens, the more they shed the illusions of the world and embrace the truth of their identity. Night after night, the chosen ones are shaped by experiences they cannot fully explain, only feel, absorb, and eventually understand through silent revelation. One of the strangest things that happens is the chosen ones often hear sounds that others never hear. These are not physical sounds. These are spiritual frequencies. They come in the form of ringing, buzzing, soft humming, or high-pitched tones that shift in intensity. It's not a medical condition, because it doesn't feel like something wrong. It feels like a signal, a tuning, a message. It's the soul picking up frequencies from a realm that doesn't speak in human language. Sometimes the sound comes right before a dream, as if preparing the mind for what's about to be revealed. Sometimes it comes during moments of reflection, when the chosen one lies awake staring into the darkness, thinking about life, purpose, pain, and destiny. And sometimes the sound comes suddenly, right before a spiritual download, a moment where the chosen one receives a burst of clarity. The world doesn't talk about this. Most people don't understand it. But the chosen ones know, spiritual hearing is real. Alongside this heightened hearing comes another strange ability, heightened awareness. The chosen ones can sense movement around them even when their eyes are closed. They detect when the room shifts, when the air thickens, when something unseen enters the space. Their awareness becomes so sharp that they can distinguish between different types of presences. They know when the presence is comforting. They know when it's neutral. And they especially know when something feels wrong. This is another gift, spiritual radar. Chosen ones can sense danger while half asleep. They can sense protection before fully waking. They can detect shifts in energy the way animals detect shifts in weather. And this is not because they are paranoid, it is because their sensitivity is a tool for survival. At night, this sensitivity amplifies. Some nights the chosen one may wake up suddenly without any noise, without a dream, without any physical trigger. They sit up, breathing calmly, yet feeling intensely alert. This is spiritual instinct, the same instinct that protects them from people with ill intentions, the same instinct that helps them avoid harmful situations, the same instinct that has saved them countless times without them even realizing. Chosen ones walk with wisdom not because they studied, but because they listened, to the whispers of the night, to the sensations of the soul, to the instincts placed within them. And then there are the nights of revelation, when the chosen one's mind enters a state so clear, so elevated, that thoughts seem to arrange themselves into perfect harmony. Ideas they struggled with suddenly make sense. Confusion dissolves. Answers come effortlessly. Their mind feels connected to something bigger, as if God Himself is rearranging their thoughts with gentle precision. It feels like being taught without a teacher. Guided without a guide. Instructed without words. These revelations shape the chosen one's future. Sometimes they receive insight into what they must do next. Sometimes they understand a painful situation that once confused them. Sometimes they're shown who they need to distance themselves from, and why. Night wisdom becomes one of their greatest weapons. It's why chosen ones often wake up knowing exactly what to do, even though the day before they were drowning in uncertainty. But with clarity also comes responsibility. The chosen ones are not just given answers, they are given insight, intuition, and discernment. They are trained to recognize truth in a world full of illusions. And night after night, this spiritual education continues. Another strange thing that happens at night, time feels different. For the chosen ones, a few minutes can feel like hours. A dream can feel like an entire lifetime. A brief moment of reflection feels like a slow descent into the deepest parts of their soul. This distortion of time is not a glitch, it's a sign that the chosen ones are crossing thresholds between realms where time flows differently. Sometimes they close their eyes for what feels like a second, yet when they open them, an hour has passed. Other times they feel like they dreamed for days, but only 10 minutes went by. This phenomenon becomes more frequent as their spiritual calling intensifies. Because the chosen ones do not just dream, they travel. They don't just sleep, they experience. They don't just rest, they transform. Their nights become bridges, portals, transitions. Nights where they break old generational patterns. Nights where they heal from wounds they never talked about. Nights where they shed identities forced upon them by others. Nights where they meet versions of themselves they haven't yet become. Even their breathing patterns change during these moments. Sometimes it becomes deep and heavy, as if releasing years of suppressed memories. Sometimes it becomes soft and still, as if absorbing divine energy. Sometimes their breath catches for a second as a spiritual transition occurs. It can feel like the soul is adjusting to a new frequency. Another strange habit, the chosen ones often feel connected to someone during the night, not in a romantic way, but a spiritual way. They sense that someone somewhere in the world is thinking about them, praying for them, or spiritually tied to them. This connection is not psychological. It is energetic. Sometimes this connection comes with warmth in the heart. Sometimes it comes with a sudden memory of a person they haven't thought about in years. Sometimes it comes with a pull, a gentle tug on the soul. The chosen ones are part of a spiritual network, a web of souls connected across distance, time, and circumstance. And during the night, these connections become more active. It's why chosen ones often dream of people who are spiritually linked to their destiny, mentors, protectors, family members who have passed away, or even future allies they haven't met yet. These dreams are not coincidences. They are signals, preparation, alignment. There are also nights where the chosen one's body reacts physically to spiritual activity. Their heart beats faster. Their muscles twitch. Their skin tingles. Goosebumps appear without cold. Their hand may move slightly. Their foot may jump. Their spine may pulse with energy. These reactions are not fear, they are spiritual electricity moving through the body. The physical form adjusting to energies the soul has been receiving. And as strange as it feels, the chosen ones eventually grow comfortable with these sensations. Over time, they begin to understand that their body and soul are working together, even when they are unconscious. There are also moments of paralysis, not the frightening kind, but the silent, peaceful paralysis where the chosen one is fully aware but unable to move. During this state, visions become clearer. Messages become louder. Understanding becomes sharper. It feels like being suspended between worlds, unable to move the body because the spirit is elsewhere. This state is misunderstood by many, but the chosen ones learn to accept it as part of their calling. Because when the spirit is active, the body must remain still. Another strange habit is the chosen ones often wake up with phrases repeating in their mind, words of guidance, fragments of wisdom, spiritual instructions. Sometimes these phrases feel foreign. Sometimes they feel ancient. Sometimes they feel like something their soul already knew but their mind had forgotten. These nighttime messages are seeds, planted in the subconscious, ready to grow into understanding at the right moment. Sometimes they wake up with scriptures they never memorized. Sometimes with symbols they don't yet understand. Sometimes with warnings that later prove true. Sometimes with encouragement that feels like a hug from the unseen. And then there are the nights of heaviness, not emotional heaviness, but spiritual heaviness. These are nights where the chosen one feels watched by darker forces, where shadows feel closer, where the air feels thick. These nights test them. These nights strengthen their spiritual authority. Because chosen ones must learn to stand firm even in the face of darkness. But the chosen ones always overcome. Because the darkness tests, but the light protects. And the chosen ones are always surrounded by light, even when they don't feel it. Some nights they wake up gasping, not from fear, but from returning to their body too quickly after a deep spiritual experience. Other nights they wake up laughing, as if touched by joy in a place their mind doesn't remember. Some nights they wake up exhausted because their soul was fighting. And some nights they wake up reborn, refreshed, renewed. Every night tells a story. Every dream carries a message. Every vibration holds a meaning. Every awakening is intentional, because the night is the chosen one's classroom, their battlefield, their sanctuary, their altar, their initiation. The chosen ones are shaped in silence, strengthened in stillness, awakened in darkness, and every strange habit, sensation, dream, or experience they endure is part of their divine preparation, forging them into a soul capable of carrying the purpose they were born for.